Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have a small claims hearing in a case with a couple who are suing for the return of their $4,000 security deposit after they say their former landlord refused to return it and, in their opinion, is charging them for both pre-existing damage to the house as well as trying to wrongly offset her costs from the normal wear and tear of the rental home. They feel that the security deposit was withheld without any evidence and was done in bad faith, so they're asking for treble damages of $12,000. Will the judge agree with the couple? Let's find out.
Next, we have another matter from 2024. This is 24-001735. That's James Gilbert and Elizabeth Gilbert versus Pranitha Palusha. Do I have someone here on behalf of Gilbert and Gilbert?
Yes, we're here.
Good afternoon to you both.
Good afternoon.
Defendant Pranitha Palusha.
Yes, I am here, Your Honor.
Good afternoon to you both, or to you as well. All right, let me go ahead and swear all three parties in. If I could have both of our plaintiffs and our defendant just raise your right hand. Interested by appearing in court today, you're offering to tell the truth, or you're swearing to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under a penalty of perjury. Do you so swear?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, Ms. Gilbert, Mr. Gilbert, who would like to be sort of the main person to speak?
I will be.
I saw that quick. He said her. Okay. All right. Well, why don't you tell me what this lawsuit's about?
Yeah, so we moved into in June of 2022. We paid a $4,000 security deposit at the time of doing the release. We renewed the lease, and well, I should also say we paid by check on June 15th of 2022. We were also confirmed that that check was received. It was cashed. We renewed the lease in June 2023 for a reduced rent. This was due to market conditions that we were told that the rent was decreasing. No new security deposit was provided. We just assumed it was renewed, the $4,000, even though the rent was less. In the lease, the renewal of the lease, it said there was a $4,000 security deposit. We contacted the defendant on May 10th, informing them of we were not going to do another lease. We were moving out due to loving the area because we'd been renting and purchasing a new home, being a first-time homeowner. And we asked for instructions of how we were going to move out of the house. We clearly stated multiple times that, we just wanted to make sure we were going to get our $4,000 deposit back and what were the process because we knew she lived out of state. We were contacted by Sean Oberg of Oberg Properties on June 3rd, stating that they were taking over property management of 5005 Inc.'s clearing. We did try to contact the defendant to confirm she hired them, but received no response, even though email had always been our means of communication. Sean told us that he was representing them, dropped off a lockbox, came and did an initial walkthrough. We also did a final walkthrough with them on June 27th. We provided the keys, the garage door openers, basically any way to get into the house to him. And then we provided our address to him on July 8th. We also didn't hear anything from them, so we reached back out to Sean on July 10th, and basically we were informed that he was removed as property management. So at that point,
Ms. Gilbert, real quick, you said on July 10th you were informed that he was no longer the manager?
Yes, we reached out to him.
Who told you that?
Sean did.
He did. He said, I don't work there anymore?
No, he wasn't representing, the house. He was let go by the defendant. The defendant fired him.
Oberg Properties from property management.
Sorry, yeah. So
on July 10th, you contacted who you had done the walkthrough with, and he said, I got fired.
Yes, okay. I was let go from managing the property. And we had also provided our address for, the return of the security deposit and all of that.
Sure.
At that point, I reached out to the defendant asking, hey, we've just been notified because we were trying to get an update on our security deposit that Sean is no longer, the Oberg Properties is no longer representing the property and that we needed to work with you to get our deposit back. We heard nothing. Again, we hadn't zero communication and no response. At that point in time, we waited, and then we sent a demand letter explaining what we were looking for, wanting to receive our deposit back
When was that?
on July 30th. And then also there was an issue with USPS, US Post. And so we sent another one on August 6th because one got lost and then refound, with all of that. And the defendant received the letter on August 9th and mailed a response to us on the 15th saying that she would not be providing us our security deposit back.
Did she give you an itemization?
She did give an itemization at that point in time it was a Word document.
It was
I don't want to go, I don't know, sorry, I don't know how much detail to give. It was
very vague in the sense
We're good. Did
Okay.
she give you anything? I
Yes.
see, right?
Yeah,
Did she give you anything? She said, she didn't just say, I'm keeping the money. She said, I'm keeping the money because I had to charge you for things.
yes.
correct.
Cool. All right. So she gave you an itemization. It's 8:15. What happened next?
After that, we served her with paperwork of
Did you respond to the August 15th and say, we disagree, we'd like our money, or did you just sue her?
at that point we just sued her because we've gone back and forth of there's been given 3 different reasons why she did not provide us our money at this point.
When were those told, Miss Gilbert? Because in your recitation, I only have you contact, she only reached out to you once. That was August 15th. So when was the back and forth with her?
So she had back and forth with Sean, saying that we verbally told her.
Miss Gilbert, were
Yeah.
you a part of that conversation, or did Sean tell you that?
Sean told us that.
I don't want to care about hearsay. I
Okay.
want to know what y'all did. So y'all got a hold of her finally when you sent her 2 letters at the end of July and August. And then she immediately responded. She's keeping your money on August 15th. And after that, did y'all have any direct conversations with her? Or did you just begin this lawsuit and now we're here?
We just began the lawsuit and now we're here.
But
All right. That's fine.
Um,
That's a good fact pattern. Now I got what happened. All right. How much are you
Yeah.
seeking back?
so we're seeking back the biggest at $12,000, which is 3 times because which is ill intent, which part of that is the list we were given. She was charging us for things that she had stated, and we have document that she was paying for, or things that were not our responsibility, such as her foundation leveling.
You want
And
12 grand. I got it. You want treble the damages for your deposit. You want no
Yes.
deductions. So let me ask you this. Right now, talk to yourselves. Is there anything you agree that you should have been charged for after 2 years of living there?
There is one thing.
Be very,
There's-
very specific. Talk to yourselves because she said no and you seem to want to give something. So be clear.
Well, if
What
I just
do you
want.
agree? Mr.
Oh,
Gilbert,
sorry. Yes, ma'am.
what after 2 years would you say maybe you should have been charged for, if anything?
There was an agreement of us paying. She was paying electricity, and we owed her for the last month of electricity. So I think it was in the itemized list. I'd have to look back, but
That-
it's
The
in there.
utility bill she should have taken out. That part would have been reduced.
Yeah.
That was what we agreed to. Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Oh,
that's a part of it. If you used it,
Yes.
you got to pay for it, right? She wasn't paying your
Yes.
utilities. Okay. What
For sure.
utilities should she have deducted from that last time?
there was, I believe it was June's electricity was the
Just
only.
electricity, no water, no
Just-
Yeah.
gas?
She put the electricity in her name.
Okay. And what day did y'all move out?
We moved out on June 26, 2024.
Okay, and that's why the walkthrough was done the 27th. You got the keys back to the property manager?
Yes, we had Sean, we cleaned up the house and we had him come over to give us a walkthrough to see if there was anything that either we could take care of or if we saw anything to make sure the property was in good condition before we handed it all over.
Did he mention anything?
He just mentioned, the only thing he mentioned, I believe, was there were stains on the carpet, but there were stains on the carpet when we moved in and we have pictures of that. Other than that, he mentioned that the property was in good condition.
Okay. Did y'all take any photos when you moved out?
We fortunately, because thought we were working with the property manager, we did not. We have a few
Ever,
of,
ever believe that someone who's being nice to you because they have your money There is
100%.
nothing, I'll just say this, there's nothing whatsoever. If I'm a property manager and I'm with two people in their house, I'm probably not going to point out to you all the ways I'm taking your money. I would just give, looks good. I'm going to tell the owner and let the owner be the one to make those deductions and send it to you, right? So there were no photos taken at move out.
The only ones we have are of, I took pictures of, because people said people can be very strict on light bulbs. So I took pictures of the light bulbs that to make sure they all matched, and it shows the mirrors in there
Okay.
as well.
How about when y'all
Um,
moved in? Did you fill out an inventory and condition form?
We took a video when we moved in
And pictures.
and pictures, which is, I included it. I don't know how, I also have it pulled up here if you want to walk through, but when we moved in, there was food in the refrigerator, dishes in the sink, or dishes in the dishwasher.
Moldy wash.
There was hair and stuff in both
Yeah,
bathrooms. It was not in good condition.
Was there anything that, I mean, cleanliness is a different thing. Was there like chips in the sun? There was a hole in the wall. There was a thermostat. that didn't
Painting,
work.
there was the
Painting
walls.
doesn't count. Fit and
the
finish
wall-
isn't a part of it. Is there a problem with it?
No,
No.
there
Like
were
if
no-
the walls, here's an example I used to give my student tenants. If all four of the walls are primer gray and don't match, that's not uninhabitable. It's just ugly, right?
Yeah,
right,
There's a
Then no.
hole in the wall. So that's what I'm asking. When you moved in, aesthetically, not what you would have expected, but otherwise habitable.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
All right. When you left, same thing. Sounds like y'all
Yeah.
left it cleaner though.
Yes. Yes.
Did y'all have any pets?
We had two
We had
dogs.
Two dogs.
Was there a pet agreement for those?
Yes, it's in the lease. So that was all documented.
The original lease was marketed as 4,000. We agreed to 4,150 when we initially moved in to take care of the difference. That was the upcharge for having two dogs. There was no like pet deposit separately, but
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. They
Oh,
just
okay,
more
yeah.
rent on behalf of the dogs, but no deposit. Okay. I typically find I see a lot where the pet deposit is non-refundable, which is not really a deposit then. That's just a pet fee, but
Yeah.
it sounds nicer, I guess, because the form's already printed. All right. So y'all were responsible for all the utilities, except that this electricity was sub-meter, and so that came through. You paid that to the landlord the month after. It wasn't in your own name. Okay, but everything else was y'all. Two dogs, but the dogs were a part of the rent. Lived there 2 years, moved out. Under the lease, how much notice had to be given before you moved out?
I'd have to look. I believe it was 30 days. I'd have to double check that.
Take a
But-
look. That's a necessary element of your case.
Okay.
99% is 30 days. We gave more than 30.
Here's a copy of the lease.
Yeah, it's the first two exhibits we submitted.
I don't know that we are. Did we have to notice? Just Google notice. Security deposit we return within 30 days.
There's nothing playing.
And it's based on a 30-day double mortgage.
I see that it goes month to month.
Yeah.
Then that's obviously going to be a 30 days. I see default notices, casualty damage, government takings. These are all basic stuff. Tenants, properties, and more conditions. Yeah, shy of any provision that extends it, it would be a 30-day notice. Occasionally I see in like a standard TR lease, they put in a 60-day. This is not that lease. This is a private lease. I don't see any provision about it. Parking addendum, that's not going to have it. Lead warning, that ain't it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I searched 30 and 60 and I couldn't. So those are the.
You can look 90, but
Okay, all right.
I don't remember so.
All right, so Ms. Gilbert, y'all moved in June of 2022, and then in June of 2024, you moved out.
Correct.
30 days notice. You said that you gave them your notice to not move out on May 10th.
Yes.
And who did you send the notice, the notice that you wish to not renew and that you wish to terminate the lease on May 10th? Who did that go to?
The defendant directly.
Defendant directly to her.
Had you been working with her directly up until that point?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did you send it directly to her? Was it mailed, texted, emailed?
Email.
And she responded on May 13th.
And that communication on May 10th, at the time you said I'm not renewing, did you provide a forwarding address?
I did not. We did not have one at that moment.
That's fine. All right. So you gave your 30-day notice. You're good on that. You get to the end of June, June 27th or 26th, you said you actually had left. 27th, you come back, you meet with the manager, you do the walkthrough, you give them the keys. You said you gave the forwarding address on July 8th.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And who did you give that to?
Sean Oberg via text message.
Okay.
We had a little bit of the epiphany that we hadn't given it to anybody.
Mm-hmm. And on July 8th, did the defendant's agent communicate that that was a problem? Did they say anything to you?
No, he said he received it.
Okay. And then 2 days later, you called him and he said, I got fired.
He was fired 2 days later per the emails between him and the defendant.
I misspoke. We reached out on the 15th.
We reached out on the 15th after we hadn't heard from anybody. And so we reached out to him to say, hey, have you heard anything? And he's like, oh, I was fired.
Okay.
And then we contacted the defendant via email saying, hey, we heard Sean Oberg Properties was fired. We provided Sean an address. Do you need an address or anything? And heard nothing back until she received the demand letter on August 9th.
And then on the 15th, she said, I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah.
She mailed it on the 15th. We received it a handful of days later because it was mailed. So called it.
And you gave your forwarding address on the 8th.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. You have the itemizations she sent you? Was that one of the exhibits you sent in?
Yes.
That is,
Yeah.
it is. I think I put it as Exhibit 7.
Let's take a look. Y'all sent a bunch of stuff.
I did, sorry. I tried to organize it as best I could.
Any chance you have it on your screen? Because I don't
I
actually
can.
see it.
Yeah.
Yes, I can pull it up. Yeah.
Because we can give you a limited screen share and you could just share that with us and let's take a look at it.
We can.
Do I just take the sharing here?
That's great. I'll just give you the caution I give everyone before you hit share. Make sure you only are sharing the screen you want to see. Like if you have extra, you're watching eBay or something.
Yeah.
Cautionary tales.
It's probably under more.
Oh, there's share.
You have to send a request.
Send a request.
Scroll down. Make sure. Where's the thing? That's what she wants to see.
Yeah.
So we sent a request, I assume.
I have granted the first time when she said she wasn't going to refund you any money. Let's see that one.
Yeah. Sure. She said she got there. You go.
Yeah, I just
too.
Share too. Okay.
Can you see our screen? Just the list.
Yes, we can. Now it is. So I see the itemization. So this is the letter at the top here.
This is the letter dated.
Can you make that whole window bigger? Like the whole browser. If you make the entire browser bigger, I think it'll fill up the whole screen for me here. Yeah, go to the.
Uh-oh.
Okay. August 4th. So it's dated August 4th. What day did y'all get it?
Well, here's the fun. She was writing the letter in response to August 9th and August 13th, but it's dated August 4th.
And the letter was mailed on August 15th.
Is that the postmark on it?
That is, she sent us an email showing it, and yes, that is the post. She sent an email showing a picture of the letter sent to us, and that was the postmark of the FedEx or UPS package she sent to us.
Just so I'm clear, I'm going to read this out loud and we can all look along, okay? It's dated August 4th, but the very second line says, I'm writing this in response to notices dated August 9th and August 13th. So it must have been written after August 13th. It's not possible with respect to all parties. No one is a future teller. So on its face, I see that the date is wrong. It cannot have been August 4th. Maybe it was begun, but it clearly wasn't updated because it has to have been August 13th. All right, so that's good. So it cannot have been mailed until at least August 13th at best. All right, let's finish this. Move out date was June 29th. We're good on that. It's been 30 days since tenants moved out. They've not provided the landlord a forwarding address. So that would be a disputed issue. Did you give an address?
Are you asking? Yes, we did.
I'm talking out loud. I know that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm writing my things down. Like, did they give an address? Landlord says no. Let's see if you've got any proof. 30 days since you gave a forwarding address. As a result, tenants owe the landlord for move out expenses related to damages that stock plan. Scroll down for me. The lease dated June 23 did not collect a security deposit and has been negotiated with no deposit. So she's saying you didn't have a deposit? I would agree. The landlord is never obligated to refund anything until you give an address. However, you can mail it to the old address. So she says the same thing. I would agree with that. Okay, so that's just Sarah saying, I'm keeping your money. Let me see any itemizations because that letter would not be sufficient. Cleaning, vacuuming, deodorizing. So everything from the top down to deodorizing sounds like a make ready, right? We're gonna need extraordinary damages. Let's go beyond that. Scroll down for me. Repairs, repair the carpet, repair the floor tile, replace a floor tile, replace a floor tile, mildew in surfaces, washer and dryer, repainting, replacing the tank, replacing disposal, electrical bulbs, locks. What's mice infestation from New York by Tenants TREBLE?
So we have some email communications about this. We moved from New York City in 2022. In 2020, yeah.
Scroll down. I was just curious if that was y'all. Okay, electricity charges. So that part, 125. We agree with that. 125 electricity for June. All right. Water supply filter?
That was
Yes, James, remember.
Are you asking for an explanation on that one?
Yeah, what's up with that?
That was
the
the water softener had a filter in it, and she had the person that came and did.
Mr. Gilbert? Did they freeze? I think they've frozen. His hand's not moving. Give him a second. It'll come back.
Stop sharing.
It's unstable. I'm plugged in.
Okay, Mr. Gilbert, you actually froze as you were explaining that.
Yeah.
So you broke off right when you said there was a water softener filter and
the person she had that usually came and fixed things, he put the filter, I pointed out, he put the filter into the thing. 2 days later or a day later, the water to the house stopped working because that filter was either bad or installed wrong. And so he had to come back out to fix that. It wasn't something I did. It was something he did.
And that was in February.
Yeah, I believe that was in like February 24 or
February in the first year?
Second year.
Second year. Okay.
Second year.
Okay. All right, I'd like to ask if you can stop screen sharing now. Thank you. All right. And then Ms. Gilbert, Mr. Gilbert, you said that when you got started, how did you pay your rent?
Automatic transfer.
All right, if you had any issues over the course of that lease, who did you communicate or was it the landlord, the owner here, the defendant directly, or was there someone to go in between?
Directly. The whole time we were communicating directly with her.
Okay, until you came to the non-renewal stage, and then it turns out a property manager was involved.
Correct.
And that person's name again was?
Sean Oberg of Oberg Properties.
did you first learn that he was going to be acting as the manager for the property?
Oh, sorry. It was on. He sent me a message on June 3rd, 2024. Yeah, 2024.
And were all your communications with Mr. Oberg related to your moving out phase?
Correct. We asked him kind
She's
of.
just in there.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
All right. So then there were two times, if I get your story, if I'm recalling your testimony, you said that when you did the walkthrough, June 27th with Sean, you gave him the keys in the garage door.
Drop him off.
We dropped him off after, sorry.
Okay. But not a forwarding address. Is that right?
Correct.
You gave your forwarding address July 8th. And how is that again?
Via text message with him.
When he contacted you in June, you said he sent you a message. Was that an email or a text?
Text message. I think he called, and then when I didn't answer because I didn't know who it was, he sent me a text message.
You still have that text message?
I do have them. They're in the exhibits again, or I can share my screen.
I'm just curious if you
Yeah.
have them.
Yes.
Were all of your communications with him via text message?
I believe so. We might have talked on the phone a handful of times to schedule walkthroughs.
Was there ever an email?
With him, no.
And then after you inquired with him and he said, I'm no longer working for the defendant, you reached out to the defendant, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was in August?
That was July 15th.
Yeah. No, that's when you called Sean and he said, I've been fired.
And then she emailed the
Immediately.
defendant immediately saying, hey, we heard this. We provided him our address. Do you need our address?
But you didn't include it.
No, because we assumed. I know.
I
Stop
know.
making assumptions, y'all. For everyone, landlord, plaintiff, it makes no difference, y'all. Assumptions will kick you in the butt when it comes to the law, especially because your contract answers all these things for you, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of leading along here too. So you emailed the defendant. Did she say anything to that email where you said, hey, Sean says he's fired, here's my address?
She never responded to that
No, she
email.
didn't. And you didn't give her an address. So when did you actually email her your new address?
The only time she would have received it probably was on the demand letter because it had, I'd have to look at the demand
What's
letter.
that? What's the date of that letter?
Uh,
Here's why it's important. If you want to establish the automatic 30-day bad faith, she's got to have done it. You got to prove to me you gave her your address the correct way. What's the lease require? Does the lease say you can text it? If so, you may be solid. I'm not going to check. I'm going to go and check. But in the meantime, what day did you give it to her in writing? What day did you know that you emailed her your new address? When was that?
She received the demand letter, which, sorry, I'm pulling it up, has our forwarding address on, I believe she said August 9th.
That's when she got it. When did you send it? Did you email it or mail it?
Well, it was in the mail, so she confirmed receipt of the mail on August 9th. We mailed it on July 30th. We put it in the mail July 30th.
So July 30th, your testimony is that you mailed a letter to the defendant, and in that letter, you gave your forwarding address.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What address did you mail that to?
We mailed it to her address in California, and on the bottom of it says our mailing address is this.
Perfect. Okay. All right. My trusty calendar out. All right. 1, 2, and 3. All right. You put it in the mail on the 30th. The rule of the mail, that was called the mailbox rule, says that it was delivered regardless of what actually happened on Saturday, August 2nd. All right. And your first response from the defendant saying, here's the itemization, that email that you showed me was dated August 15th. Well, no, we looked at it. It was dated August 4th, but I would say at best August 13th because it's in response to it.
Yes, she mailed it August 15th, so
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Palusha.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. and Ms. Gilbert say that they were tenants in your property that you have here in Texas. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and they lived there for 2 years?
Yes.
All right. Is it correct that at one point you had hired a Sean Oberg?
Yes, I did hire at one point,
All right.
thinking that I can be in person for a move out. So I was looking for property managers. So I thought I'll hire someone, but not fully aware that I will be with them. But I was just trying to get things moving.
Okay. And did you send Mr. Oberg out to assist the Gilberts in their move out process?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Did he give you any updates from the walkthrough that he performed with them?
He did not specifically send me any pictures, any detailed documentation, just an email update.
All right. Did he provide you with a forwarding address from the defendant or from the plaintiffs?
No, Your Honor.
Did you ask him if they had provided one?
I did not ask in the email. Yeah, no. Because I had the email of the petitioners, and I've always been communicating via email and phone and text. Yeah, so
All right. Now, in the letter that I saw, is that correct? Was that the itemization that you sent them?
I did send them because I was quite shocked when I received that on the August 9th, and I was trying to type up, yes, thanks for finding that it was a typo. It was not August 4th, August 14th.
Okay.
And I mailed it out the following day, but I was trying to gather all the notes and evidence. Yes, I did send out to them. As soon as I received, I actually have an email replying to Miss Liz and James that on August 9th that I have received the notice, and I will respond in weeks time.
Oh, Ms. Beluga, when the apartment was first, or the home rather, when it was leased in June of 2022, did you handle the lease at that stage?
Yes. When I put the house for renting, I found I had to move for a job purpose. That's my first home. So when I was moving, I put the house for lease through Zillow, and I was the one who was managing everything for the.
Okay. And the lease that you used, did you find that? Did you create it yourself?
I used Zillow's lease and updated as we discussed as I discussed with the tenants, the past tenants, which is the petitioners, back and forth because they were also out of state, and that's how I created the lease.
All right. And at the time you let to them in 2022, did you charge them a security deposit?
I did charge a security deposit to begin
How
with
much?
in 2022. I have to look it up in the list. Sorry, it would. I had a few bunch of windows open. Sorry. Can you give me 1 minute?
Certainly. I'm going to share my screen too, and maybe we can all answer this. This might solve it all faster. So
Yeah.
here's what we received. And Ms. Beluga, is this a copy? It's 36 pages, but I'm focused on the beginning here.
Correct.
This is what we received from you that said this is the lease between the parties, and this is for June of 23 to June of 24. Does this appear to be the lease?
This is, yes, it's the same, similar, it's the same list. First, we created it, and that I created in 2022. But then again, we modified because
Ms. Beluga, I just want to see if there's a security deposit in the first lease, right? So
Yes.
here's the first lease. I see the rent. I see
So when you say that I'm not able to see the font clearly, but you said when you open the first page, you said it's a 2023 to 2024, but the first lease was 2022 to 2024.
Okay, let's
This
see.
is second lease.
This is
Yeah.
the second year lease. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Let's go find the first one.
Second lease is also fine if we are talking about the second.
I want to see the security deposit because they said they paid $4,000. Do you remember if you got a
Yes.
$4,000
Yeah,
check
yeah.
deposit?
I agree. I received
Cool.
the $4,000
So they paid
for the first lease. Yes.
Then Ms. Beluga, my question about that is, in your letter, you said that they didn't have a deposit, but you just said that they paid you $4,000.
So in my letter, it also says for the lease of 2023 to 2024.
So the security deposit, Ms. Beluga, if they
Yes.
put a deposit in 2022, that deposit continues throughout the time that they're the tenant. It
Unders-
never goes away per annuity.
Understand. But
So there's a $4,000 deposit they paid.
yes, I understand.
Okay.
What I was referring, if I can explain, is we negotiated the rent. Mr. James, he sent me many messages saying that can you reduce the rent? We want to do another lease and all that. So from our conversation, the way I created is as a new lease. Okay. And then when
You cannot keep their security deposit, Ms. Beluga.
No, I cannot keep the security deposit. So what I'm trying to tell is that we created a second lease, and that's why I when I responded back stating that on the second lease it says security deposit, it was not paid because we have created a new lease reducing the rent and removing the pet deposit to adjust for this.
Did you give them back their security deposit when they signed the second lease?
I did not give the security
And you
deposit.
owe them that, then Ms. Beluga, you have a security deposit for them of $4,000, and the Texas law said you had to itemize or return it within 30 days. There's no way. It is not possible. It is illegal if what you were trying to do was say, well, I gave them a rent reduction and I kept their security deposit as a result.
No. This
Okay,
is
so then
not
they had a deposit.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had a $4,000 deposit. They lived there 2 years. They moved out.
Mhm.
Is it correct? You said it. You itemized their stuff on August 15th. That's the day you put it in the mail.
Yes. And that
Okay.
itemized also, I didn't include all the other things because I was trying to get the things done and I put in all the minimum ones that I was getting things done with the new property manager and my handyman. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any dispute, Ms. Palucia, that Mr. and Ms. Gilbert sent you their forwarding address on or about August 6th?
The day I received is August 9th with the demand letter. Then I saw the court document. That's when I saw the address. So then I came to know that could be their address.
Okay.
And
Did you take any, Ms. Palucia, did you go and do any walkthrough yourself, or did you rely on third party like managers or maintenance parties to go and do the walkthrough afterward?
yeah, I have relied two times on different property managers, and third time on the handyman, and fourth time is when I went in and did. But that was back in December.
All right. Now, Mr. Oberg is the one who actually did the first walkthrough at the end of June when they returned the keys. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And that's whose witness is he here to be?
Um.
All right. Ms.
Yeah.
Palucia, did Mr. Oberg take any photos when he went into the walkthrough?
I have not received any photos if he has done, but
So he may have, but he didn't give them to you.
Yes.
All right. Have you received any photos of the property since the Gilberts moved out before a new tenant came in?
Yes, I did receive.
What day were those photos taken?
I have from August, I can say. I had in my other property manager that I got engaged, which was August 19.
August what?
August 19.
So that's after you've itemized.
Itemized was done by Lenny, the handy contractor, who also took the keys from Sean Oberg. So he took the pictures.
Ms. Palucia, you said the photos were taken August 19th. Is that correct?
So the walkthrough photos from a property manager you asked me that I was engaging with Sean Oberg, I did not receive. Then I sent my handyman to pick the keys and take pictures. He sent me. But then the actual property manager that I engaged again is the one who sent me on August 19th.
I'll ask you a better question. I'll make it easier. Do you have any photos that were taken before August 14th? Yes or no?
Yes, I have.
Have you sent those photos into the court? Can I see them?
Oh, no, I have not sent them, but I can.
Can I give you a screen share and you share with me those photos which display all the reasons for the deductions? Because that's what you need, Ms. Paluja. Right now, they're not going to get treble damages because they didn't give you their address on time, and it sounds like you responded within 30 days. Y'all see how that happened? Because you don't have proof that you gave it immediately. Y'all got it to her, and she responded within 30 days. I don't see any way around that. So now we're coming to, can she charge you anything, right? So it's not a bad faith anymore. Now we're just going to see what you charge you for. So Ms. Paluja, you sent them an itemization on the 14th. That's when you began it. You put it in the mail the 15th. So for me to see proof that you have the right to deduct anything, I need photos taken before that. What photos do you have to show me of $4,000 of damages? Right now, the only thing I can see that you've proven that they've acknowledged is $125 for the electricity. They owe you that. Let me see the photos. And we can let you a screen share, Ms. Paluja.
Before I do that, first of all, I did not see all the exhibits that Mr. Gilbert, that's why I never sent pictures and I never even downloaded or documented. Let me at least pull up the email from the handyman and the messages that I have, and I can try to upload immediately into Google Photos. And
all right. So why don't we take a 10-minute recess, Ms. Paluja? Let's take a break.
Give me a few minutes. Yeah.
We'll take a 10-minute recess. And we'll be back at 3 p.m. Okay, y'all? All right. Ms. Paluja, again, only photos taken before August 14th. Because if you took it after the fact, you can't have put it in the itemization.
Understand. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Look,
because the only hesitation I'm saying is that I have to go check the message. But from property manager, at least that I have all of them, but they are after August 8th, like August 14th.
If they're Ms. Paluja, the only evidence that will be that would support your deductions would be photos taken before you put it in the mail. If you have photos on the 19th, that's not useful to me.
Yeah.
If you have letters, look and see what historical evidence you have that you use to create a $4,000 charge. Okay.
Understand. I will.
10 minutes. We'll all be back at 3 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Welcome back, y'all.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll just give my clerk a minute to get online as well. All right. Thank you all for your patience. We are now back from our recess. It is 3 p.m. exactly. All right. Ms. Paluja, you were looking for documentation. Were you able to find some of those things?
So the two photos that I found and also one video, which is before August 14th, are the only two which are for the rat mice infestation, and then the microwave. But that was also the one that was sent during when the actually microwave was broken or was not functional. So these are the only two I can say that are before August 14th, because eventually I started working on the, I took the estimate and I got him done, but I never asked for photos. Like, we talked about what things to be fixed, but yeah, it was all online again. From here, I got things fixed so that I can rent the home again.
Ms. Paluja, do you have any photos of the damages that you say were caused by the Gilberts?
So the only two photos that I can share now, let me look for a sharing option. Hold on here. Share my screen. Is there under more options? Oh yeah. Share my screen.
Like a little green button with an arrow, or at least that's how mine looks. Looks like an arrow pointing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the ones for the mice infestation.
What day, Ms. Paluja, what day was this photo taken?
I mean, these were part of the things that we were talking about how to fix. This at least I have it from Lenny, my contractor, which is around between July. I received this in July 16th.
Of what year? Ms. Paluja?
Yes, I am looking because I forwarded it. I am just looking the date of that message. We had few fixes that he was working back and forth. So these are the only two ones that I have that from outside, but others I don't have like messages. We got things fixed for make ready.
Ms. Paluja, do you have a date for either of those two photos?
I am looking it up that way. Back and forth. Oh, wow. This is from, yeah, again, the August, August 18, the pictures that I have. This is from backyard. So,
All right.
Your Honor, let me tell you clearly, I don't have all the pictures that you're asking for me for the damages because my intent was, I want to stop sharing. My intent was to first get the home fixed and rent it out. I had Sean Oberg engaged. I didn't get any leads for renting it out. Then I had Lenny, the contractor, thinking that I'll do the same thing that's on Zillow and then have him fix all the things. So I was getting things done. I do not have documentation, proper
Ms.
documentation.
Beluga, well, if you'll stop sharing, because then I can see you a little bit better. You're like a little bitty thing this way. Here's the thing, Ms. Beluga. In order for the landlord to be able to make those charges, you have to show me evidence that you had a reason to make those deductions in the first place. So far, you've not brought any evidence of any damages that you purported were caused by the plaintiffs in those deductions. So right now is your last chance. Do you have any evidence to support the things that you charged them for in your notice to them on August 15th?
The evidence that I have is payments like carpet steam cleaning, carpet replacement.
I don't
fixing
doubt
the-
that you did the
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I'm asking is, was it necessary in order for you to prove to me that you had to do it and not just that it was nicer, it was more aesthetic, it was an update that a serviceman just told you needed to do it and you didn't have any proof and therefore you paid for it. To make them liable for it, you must show me evidence that you relied upon before you authorized those charges.
I
Any
understand.
evidence from before you sent them the deductions.
I understand, and the reason I do not have all the pictures was, like I said, it was all moving fast, and I did not ask for pictures to be sent. Like for example, most recently in my this house where I am renting, there was an issue. I took a picture, I sent to the insurance, and now I'm learning. But back then, I didn't have the time and bandwidth, and I was just thinking like, oh, I got a late notice, I can't rent the home out, and I was not finding tenants, and yeah, I was just making sure that the house gets rent. I do not have all the evidence. I can go back to my contractor and have him look for those pictures. I don't know if it's worth court's time to ask time here at this point.
Unfortunately, we cannot, Ms. Beluga.
No.
Today is our day. Okay. All right, I'm going to give you all an outcome, and then both parties are welcome to appeal that decision. So here's what I find. I do find that there was a lease. There's no dispute about that. The lease lasted 2 years. Plaintiffs, when they moved in, paid a $4,000 security deposit, and then after a renegotiation, they got a little bit lesser on the rent going forward. But per the statute, that security deposit remains a deposit for the length of the lease. So if the lease lasted 10 years, it's still a $4,000 deposit. And Texas law says the landlord is always ultimately responsible for always keeping accounting of it and refunding it on or before the 30th date. So when you got ready to move out, Mr. and Ms. Gilbert said we're not renewing. They let you know that in May. Property manager got involved. Pretty standard stuff for a landlord who's not local. Although I'll tell you that even if the landlord lived next door, for many reasons, it may be a better idea to have a property manager involved in that for all things. So that's a completely normal part. Manager went out, did a walkthrough on or about the 27th. Tenants moved out, gave the keys of the garage back, provided a forwarding address via text message, which apparently may not have got there. It sounds like there was an issue with that. What is not in dispute, though, is that absolutely everyone agrees landlord got notified of the new address directly to her on or about August 2nd. And that Ms. Pelusia, you did respond within that first 30 days by putting an itemization and a letter in the mail on August 15th, right? Now, the things that were charged for in that were a variety. I saw charges for cleaning and for replacing and for repairing. The thing that was absolutely agreed that both parties said is understandable and owed is $125 for the last month of electricity. So, Mr. and Ms. Gilbert, you did use the electricity, the lights were on, they were probably on, you did the walkthrough, right? All good things. So that 125 would have been owed and could have been properly deducted as it was. Ms. Belusia, you correctly deducted that. I don't see, though, that there's been anything to support the remainder $3,875. And because there's been no showing of evidence whatsoever, I am going to find that that was a bad faith taking. And so it would be treble. 380, so 3875 is the wrongful withheld portion. If I treble that, that's $11,625 plus the $100 statutory penalty. Judgment for the plaintiff, $11,725 plus cost of court. All parties have 21 days to appeal the decision. If you appeal the decision, you get what's called a trial de novo, meaning you don't see me. It doesn't make any difference what happened today in our courtroom. It would be a brand new judge. Whether that would be via Zoom or in person, I won't try to tell you what would happen at the county court at law. We will send both parties a copy of the order today. With that, we also give the information about appeal, and then you can take any steps that you wish after that. Okay?
Yeah.
All
Can
right.
Can I ask one question, Your Honor?
Absolutely.
The whole demand was for the security deposit, and I was neither informed with the address, neither. I only responded because the demand letter also was asking for $12,000. So I was trying to justify that I incurred expense to fix the house, and that was what I sent them. But neither I was notified for the security deposit address, or we negotiated why and what happened and all that. I was never given a letter, never an email. My email and text message was always there, and my mailing address too. So it
Ms.
doesn't
Volusia?
seem. Mhm.
I agree. They didn't get you their address until August. I didn't find bad faith for it being too late. I found bad faith because you didn't have any evidence to support $3,800 of charges.
So I did, yeah, I did
And so,
not
Ms.
have an
Ms. Fallujah, you can appeal, okay?
I
All
will
parties
appeal.
are excused. Thank you very,
Yeah.
very much. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, thank
Right.
you. I will.
Thank you.
Let me take my notes together here. We'll go to the next one. Right,